Hello and welcome to Technocare Industries SAP Geek. This is Anurag and today we have taken a technical topic for discussion which is processing classes, cumulations and evaluation classes. In this video we will be seeing what are processing classes, what are the commonly used examples of processing classes available in standard, what are accumulation classes, what are the commonly used examples of accumulation classes, what are evaluation classes, some examples of evaluation classes, and the views which are available for customizing. So for those who are very new to SAP payroll, let me just give you some introduction or background before going ahead and checking in system what are processing classes, cumulations and evaluation classes. So guys, these are nothing but wage type characteristics. So from an implementation point of view, whenever we have to implement or uh, or create different kind of wage types in system, so as wage type is a very important configuration in payroll, setting up wage type. So when we set up wage types, these steps, processing classes, cumulations and evaluation classes, these are country specific, organized by SAP and available for customization. So using these two views, 512w underscore d and 512w underscore o, we can basically make modifications in the wage type characteristics. Wage type characteristics is nothing but how the wage type will behave, right? So for those who are new, just try to understand that we today are going to discuss about the characteristics of wage type. Okay, and there are three very commonly used uh, wage type characteristics, which are nothing but processing classes, cumulations and evaluation classes. And this configuration is very important guys for any implementation, any country, because this configuration will either make or break your payroll implementation project. So it is very important to understand what is the meaning of a processing class for each particular country, what is the meaning of accumulation class, and it is also important to map our correct wage types to correct processing class values or accumulations and evaluation classes. So let's begin. Let us check in system what are different options available. For sample, we will consider only India as a country, but the same will be applicable for all countries. So I will mention whenever a particular processing class or whatever point if we are discussing, I will mention it at the same time, whether it is country specific or whether the logic applies for all countries. So let's jump into the system and understand better. So I am on transaction SM30 and we are checking this view 512w underscore d. Whenever we click on maintain in this view, it will ask us for country grouping. So we have to enter country grouping, for which country are we configuring the system. And just a pointer to remember, we can create same wage type for different country groupings with different characteristics. So it is possible that we create a customer specific wage type 1000 for India, and let's say 1000 is also present for, let's say, US. Okay, so that 1000 can have different characteristics when it is used for country grouping 40 in this case, and the wage type 1000 we can have a different characteristics when it is used with country grouping 10, which is US. So it was just a pointer to remember. We can have same wage type codes to be utilized for different countries with different characteristics. So let us go ahead in this view. When I go to this view, okay, so these are all wage types which are present in standard system, right? So the technical wage types, right, slash series wage types, and also there will be some model wage types. So let us look at one of the model wage type, which is basic salary. Okay, in this basic salary, if I hit on display, see, we can see three sections in this view. One is processing classes, one is cumulations, and another one is evaluation classes. So here basically, if we understand, for each and every country you need to understand that there may be certain common processing classes, and there may be certain common cumulation classes also, well, right? But definitely there would be some differences, because this view itself, the processing classes, cumulation classes and evaluation classes, this entire view, when we enter this view, you remember system asks for country grouping. So based on country grouping, these processing classes, cumulation classes and evaluation classes may or may not change. Okay, so you need to keep this point in mind while configuring always, right? So now let's move ahead. Let us take one of the sample processing class. Okay, so uh, let us take processing class 1. Okay, processing class 1 is assignment to valuation basis, and in that you can see for this particular wage type, the value maintained or the specification. So these are called as processing classes, and these are called as specifications of processing classes. Okay, so if I say 3 is maintained for processing class 1, so it means that specification of processing class 01 is maintained as 3, which is nothing but wage type is included in valuation basis slash 001, 002 and 003. Okay, now let us come to basic understanding of what is a processing class. Okay, what is a processing class? Basically, whenever we run payroll, there are n number of wage types that are configured. Some are standard, some are model, right? And some are customer specific that we have created. So now when we run this payroll driver using a particular schema, at that time what happens is we need to specify these wage types, how certain rules that will be applicable to these wage types. So what rule has to be applied to basic pay, what rule has to be applied for house allowance, house rent allowance, what rule is to be applied for conveyance allowance, so something like that. So also one more question comes in mind is, whenever we create another wage type or new wage type, we will have to write those rules again for the new wage type. So what SAP has done here in their solution is they have created a concept called as processing classes. These processing classes are used, just listen to this very carefully. These processing classes are, and the specifications of these processing classes are used to group list of wage types, right, that needs to be processed together with a specific rule. Okay, if you do not follow what I said just now, I would request you to rewind this video by 30 seconds or so and again listen to what I said carefully. Okay, now what happens is whatever we want to do, whatever calculation we want to do is already maintained. The list of operations are already present in a particular PCR, which is called as personal calculation rule. And that PCR, instead of hard coding to a particular wage type, we write it based on the processing classes. So what happens is we will write the logic in PCRs, and those PCRs will call nothing but processing classes instead of wage types, and the wage types will be tagged as let's say 03. Let me give you one more example. Processing class 10. Okay, so mark wage types for monthly factoring. So here the specification is given as 1. It means reduction with factor 801. So now what is this? Reduction with factor 801 is one of the rules that is applicable for this wage type. So what I'm saying, that processing class 10, so whenever the particular PCR will be executed, inside PCR the logic will be written for this particular specification, and the logic will not be written directly on these wage types. So this avoids hard coding of logic based on wage type. Next time whenever we have to create any wage type with a similar processing logic, okay, next time, I will repeat myself, next time whenever we have to create any wage type, new wage type with a similar processing logic, we just need to copy create that wage type, so that whenever we come here, the processing class settings will be similar, and then it will automatically follow the rule that we have written for a particular specification of processing class. Okay, now let me show you example of this processing class 10, which is normally called in our factoring and storage schema. Okay, so let me jump to standard schema IN00. Okay, IN00 is Indian payroll schema. If I go to change, we have something called as factoring and storage, period factoring and storage. I will double click on that to check the processing class 10. So now you can see here this PCR XVAL, right? XVAL is used along with processing class 10. So let us recollect what I have said earlier. In this PCR, the logic will be written for each and every specification of processing class 10, and the wage types will be tagged to processing class 10 specifications, and then accordingly the processing will happen in this driver when this XVAL PCR will be called. Now let me say this in another way. Okay, in this schema, this particular PCR is written along with processing class P10, which is processing class 10. So all wage types which are tagged to processing class 10 will be selected for this particular logic. Now what is the logic? To check the logic, again let us drill down to the rule level. So this is the rule. If I go to display, you can see now this is PCR grouping. Let me go to, let's say, PCR grouping 3. Inside PCR grouping 3, you can see, okay, so this is the call to processing class. So this operation, what it does is this is just checking what is the specification of processing class 10 for the current wage type which is being processed. Okay, so if I expand this, it will see all the specifications. For all the specification, different rules are written. If I say the specification of processing class 10 is 0, okay, then addwt asterisk. So what this operation is doing, this is nothing but it is passing the wage type as it is to the output table, not doing any calculations. So but if the specification of processing class 10 for a wage type is 1, in that case it is doing some calculations. Let us not go right now into these calculations. It is doing some calculations, and then after the calculations are done, it is passing it to the output table. Okay, so the idea behind having different processing classes in system is nothing but to have predefined rules in system which are written based on specifications of processing classes. Okay, if you do not follow, I would again request you to go back some time, some 30 to 40 seconds, and again understand what I am trying to say, because this is very important. So the rules are written based on specifications of processing classes, and whenever the wage types are created, the only setting that we do is mapping of a particular wage type to a processing class. Okay, so this is true for each and every processing class, okay, that we have. So basically, whenever we have any logic written inside standard schema or custom schema, okay, based on processing classes, what we do is basically we are avoiding hard coding of the logic that we need to write in that it is not done based on wage type, it is done based on the specification of a processing class. So now if I say all the wage types which are tagged to specification class 1 for processing class 10 will behave similarly in XVAL PCR. Okay, so now actually we should get a good understanding of what is a processing class, right? Processing class are basically it is a way or mechanism set up by SAP, available in standard SAP, to have similar calculations for a set of wage types. Okay, so this is nothing but processing class. So we saw processing class 1 is used for having different basis, valuation basis. So valuation basis are nothing but maybe for overtime, shift allowance, we need some rate, right, rate for calculation, and those rates are calculated only based on certain specific wage types, not all entire salary. So that is done in processing class 1. In processing class 10 we have factoring. Factoring is nothing but reduction, or you can say proration of a component based on unpaid absence, or mid-month joining. Basically mid-month separation, basically any inactive period. If we want to prorate salary and pay, processing class 10 is used. Then we have processing class 20. It is used for accumulation. So accumulation is something that we are going to see next. Whenever there is a rule for accumulations which is using processing class 20, we have all different options. Okay, again we have whether we want to pass the wage type unchanged, whether we want to eliminate the wage type, whether we want to store it into RT along with accumulation, or store with RT without accumulation and without splits, right? So all these things, all these options are available, and all these options which are written in English here, that will have corresponding rules written in specific PCRs. Okay, now that we are going to see, but I will come back to this processing class 20 in a moment. Let me give you one more example, which is nothing but processing class 30, which is accumulation. So how the accumulation should happen? So we know that there are different tables available in payroll results. One is RT, one is CRT. So these are the two very useful tables where major information is stored corresponding to wage types. So when we see options available over here, we have this different accumulations. So whether we want to accumulate number or amount or both, and whether the accumulation should be for the current financial year, or it should be based on the table that we know. So if we use this, we can have different accumulations like monthly accumulations, quarterly accumulations, annual accumulations. We'll have a separate video for understanding functionality of each and every processing class later, but right now we are just understanding that already these rules are written in system. So if I set this to 1, certain rules will be present in system which will run for this particular set of wage types. Okay, now let me come back to the processing class 20 that I was talking about. So why this processing class 20 is so special? Let me let us come to the schema level also to understand better. Okay, in Indian payroll schema, let me search for processing class 20. I think that processing class 20 will be somewhere in, yeah, factoring and storage schema, this P20, right? So here again you can see the rule which is predefined for processing class 20 is X023. Okay, so if we see X023 in detail, we can understand how a wage type should be processed, or how a wage type will be processed for different specifications available for P20. So let me jump to X023, right? If I go here and if I see ESG for PCR 3, inside this it is again querying for processing class 20, and if the value is 1, then what should happen? If the value is 3, then what should happen? If the value is 4, then what should happen? So basically when we come to this view, the view of processing classes, see this one, all these options 1, 3, 4, 5, these rules will be written, this actual technical operations will be written in the corresponding PCR X023. Okay, now when I say this particular processing class is very special, what I mean by that is, now it is linked to our next part, which is nothing but accumulations. This whatever you checkbox you are seeing over here, you can see for India. Okay, for India we have accumulations 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? All these checkboxes you can see over here till all the way till 46, which is newly introduced. So now all these checkboxes, this will form various bases for calculation. Okay, so these bases or accumulations are used for different calculations. So for this to work, processing class 20 is the only, or the link between whether the accumulations will work or not. So if I select a option in processing class 20, which does not include in accumulation. So let's say I say uh, RT storage without splits. Okay, so it does not have cumulate, so it will not matter if I check this or it is unchecked, because it will see in processing class 20, it will come here and it will store the wage type to RT without splits without accumulation. Okay, only when any of the option only when any of the option which has cumulation is selected for a particular wage type, only then the basis or the cumulations will have any effect. So all these checkboxes will have any effect on the calculation of these cumulation wage types. Okay, now when I say that, I confirm that, let's say in processing class 20, if I set 3, cumulation will happen, and the wage type will also be stored in RT, right? And let's say if I say a route as is and cumulate, this will again have cumulation. So basically when I say cumulation will happen, what will happen? This particular wage type will be a part of total gross amount, EPF basis, ESI basis. It will be a part of HRA basis, it will be a part of gratuity basis, superannuation basis, PTAX basis. So wherever there is a checkbox, in that case this particular wage type amount will be processed and passed to the basis of that particular amount. Okay, so that is the importance of processing class 20. And this processing class 20 is basically you can say switch on off switch for all the cumulations. Okay, so if I say uh, eliminate wage type. Okay, now there is one more option. If I say eliminate wage type, whenever this PCR X023 will be calling this particular rule for MB10, it will come and it will remove the wage type from the internal table. So it will not be present in RT, it will not be present in CRT, it will not be present anywhere, and the cumulations also will not take place. Okay, so that was the very important point I just wanted to stress on, the importance of processing class 20. Because what happens is consultants many times they go and check here and they save, and then they end up they don't understand basically why cumulations are not happening. So the correct options they have not checked in processing class 20. So that is the main reason why cumulations are not happening, or the particular wage type is not getting added to any of the bases. Okay, now what we will do is we will okay, we will come and check the different basis wage types, right? So when I say cumulations, now we have moved on to accumulation. So when we come to accumulations, just consider this as a way for different basis to formulate in system. Like for example, when we say EPF, okay, or ESI, so there are certain components which has to be considered as basis for calculating employee PF. So whatever wage types should be a part of that, basically we come and check this. So if you see 1 1, so this is the nomenclature which is followed by SAP. It is a good guess that this, when all those wage types which are tagged to for which this is checked in 1 1, accumulation class 1 1, will be a part of slash 111, right? So let me just open another window to make you understand what I'm talking. The same view I'm just opening another view. I am seeing here 111 is EPF basis. Similarly, 1, right? Accumulation class 1. So slash 101 is gross amount. Slash 110 is net payments and deductions. Similarly, you can cross check any other accumulation as well. Let's say for example 18. So slash 118 will be PTAX basis, right? So these are nothing but at the end of processing class X023, these PTAX basis will be available in system. Based on this, the INPTX and different functions will take place to calculate the professional tax. But the basis for professional tax is generated in let's say after PCR or in PCR X023, and that will be taking values based on the check boxes in these wage types. Whatever wage type, list of wage types would be there, which will be tagged to ptax basis. So those will be generating total of those will be generated in /118. Similarly, you can verify, you can check here monthly regular income, monthly irregular income, which takes care of the taxable salary for India. So regular income, monthly regular income, monthly irregular income. So SAP has followed this beautiful convention where each and every cumulation class, so you can see over here number is there, this number is assigned to a actual cumulation wage type which is generated in system. So whenever there is a cumulation basis required for either for any of the country, basically SAP gives it in this list, so whether the wage should be considered in that particular basis or not, and then at the end of cumulation, basically all these cumulation wage types will be generated in system. So in our case in India, let's say we have accumulation class PCR as X023. In some other country we might have some different PCR which may have different meaning. Like for example, /115 is CLS COA basis in India, but /115 may be some other wage type in some other country. So basically that is also a wage valuation basis, or you can call it cumulation basis wage type only, but that will be used for some other reason. Okay, now we have these cumulations are pretty straightforward. These are not similar to processing class, right? But this cumulation are basically, this forms all the different type of basis that are required for separate calculations in payroll. Okay, and then we have finally we have something called as evaluation classes. Evaluation classes are purely used only for the display purpose. When I say display purpose, it can be on a payslip, it can be on any statutory form, let's say for example form 16 or tax simplifier statement. So under which category of wage type it falls, based on the category, this wage types or any other wage type for which evaluation classes are maintained are displayed at separate locations on the forms. Not only forms, in some reports also it is used. So basically these evaluation classes are used for reporting purposes. So if I say wage type evaluation class 2, now this is reserved for our payslip printing. So payslip printing, if I say whether it is a positive deductions or payments or negative deduction, positive deduction arrears, payment arrears, negative deduction arrears. So these are all the specifications that I have created for my basic payslip configuration, so that whenever I create a new wage type, I don't have to mention or I don't have to hard code where it has to be displayed in the payslip. It can be displayed based on the configuration, because it will be copied from a source wage type. So whatever will be the let's say I copy it from earning wage type, already it would be configured as 02, which is nothing but payment. So it will start displaying it under the same section in payslip. So as I said, this 2 evaluation class 2 is reserved for payslip. Similarly, we have certain other evaluation classes, like let's say evaluation class 6. Now this evaluation class 6, this is reserved for form 16 and tax simplifier statement. So in these forms, basically these forms have totals of separate salary heads. So these are the salary heads under which the components should be displayed. So, and these are standard, so we should not change these categories. But yes, what we can do is we can tag a particular wage type or any salary component to this particular headers which are displayed on form 16 or tax simplifier statement. Similarly, we have section 10 exemptions, the list of section 10 exemptions which are configured or present in system. So if a particular wage type is exemption wage type, or what salary is exempted from salary in taxable salary, so that we can display here. Again, it will be affecting your form 16 and tax simplifier statement. And again, we have certain perks. So under which category of perk it is falling, whether it is accommodation perk or free education or free meal, whatever. So again, major work of evaluation classes is to display a wage type to a particular category or section of a form or a report. Okay, now this statement is true for each and every country which is available, for which localization is available for SAP payroll. The form may be different, like for example in India we may have form 16, in UK we may have something called as P60 or some other form. So but the reports and forms may be different, the name of the evaluation classes may be different, okay, but the nature of the evaluation classes will be the same. When I say nature, the evaluation classes will always be used for certain reporting and forms. When I say accumulation, this will always be generated, be used for generating certain different bases, and processing class will always be used for um, setting set of rules basically for different wage types, common set of rules for a list of wage type or for a set of wage types.